Welcome into the first Stream Highlights episode of the year, as this recaps the preseason. Now, I plan on trying to do this weekly during the regular season to give sort of a weekly recap, while also highlighting the best moments in post-game streams from that previous week. Please let me know what you think of this episode and what you think a good length for these are. I could make these go for 30 minutes if I wanted to, because our streams are long and we go in depth on them, but I'm going to try and make them an efficient playback of the previous week for those of you that, you know, maybe having a busy week or a busy time or something like that, or maybe you missed a stream or whatnot. Huge shout out to Zach, who gave me timestamps that helped me find the moments that I wanted to include from the preseason streams. Now, I didn't include anything from the 4th, as I feel like the first 3 streams sum things up pretty well. So let me know what you think of this style of video, and if you have any suggestions, or if you think it's a little bit too long, or maybe you'd be cool with me making it longer. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Let's talk about the defense. This was like the only thing that legitimately frustrated me with this game, because I don't get frustrated preseason games anymore, man. But there was one thing that frustrated me.
Let me guess. It starts with
SWITCHING. Yes. How'd you know, man? Okay, so here's what I don't understand. All right, this is the one thing that doesn't make sense. We'll get into positive, but this just doesn't make sense to me. You're trying to become a better defensive team. This is your opportunity to work on running different schemes, some complicated stuff. They switched basically everything the entire game. You don't have to work on switching. What happens when you switch? You end up with a big on a guard, and the guard isolates the big, and he has to try and keep up. Or you end up with a guard on a big in the paint, and that big man will post up, right? Like, you're not even working on anything. So this was a good opportunity for them to work on a couple scheme things defensively and try and institute that and get game reps. And they decided to switch everything, which made no sense to me. You got 5 preseason games until the regular season counts. I don't think you can go into the regular season switching everything. You don't have the defensive players for that. And even the teams that do, they don't switch everything. Nurkic was actually fine for the most part when switched onto guys like Kawhi Leonard. He had a couple good moments. Eubanks kind of got picked apart, but it's like, I'm worried that is going to be the main defense, Eric, especially with them bringing in Gary Payton II, and we know he can guard like 4 positions, and they probably view Hart and Nas the same way. I'm worried that they're just going to switch everything to start the season. It's probably just one preseason game, but this was your opportunity to work on some other things that are more complicated and harder to run that you need the reps for in a game. They just come out here in a preseason game and switch everything.
And as far as the switching goes, it's frustrating because we don't seem to switch when it's proper to switch. And what I mean by that is when you have the guy setting the pick being another wing that could switch on to the person really easily, we don't switch in those situations. And when it's Nurk's guy setting the pick, it's like an automatic switch. Yeah. Like, shouldn't it be opposite? Like,
yeah, you can switch similar defenders because they're similar defenders. You're not going to end up with a mismatch. But yeah, it's like we're switching Nurkic onto Kawhi and PG and John Wall.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, what was your main theme from this preseason game? Can we take anything away from this one? Should we take anything away from this one? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought one good thing was I felt like the first unit moved the ball a lot better than they did last night, and also cut a lot more. So that was encouraging to see, just people more in the right spots and doing the right thing instead of standing around tonight. So even though the results weren't good, I'd say that's still an improvement over last night, so I'll take it.
Yeah, there's a comment that sums it up pretty well. Shout out Chris S., member for 20 months. He says, at my first game in 2 years, Dame looks 10 years younger, Grant looks great, Nurkic is finishing well, it's preseason, not much else to worry about. Chris's comment is basically how I feel after this game. Dame looked good, man. Dame looked good, okay? That's the biggest positive from this game. Dame looked like old Dame, man. He looked shifty. He looked quick. He looked a little quicker than last night, I thought. In 24 minutes, 21 points, 6 for 10 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, got to the line 6 times, made all his free throws, and had 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Now, he was a little sloppy with the ball, But I think you can chalk that up to the dude has barely played in the last 9 or 10 months, so he's still getting a feel for the ball, but considering how little he's played, you'll take a little bit of sloppiness in preseason. That's to be expected in preseason. You absolutely will take that if he's giving you 21 points in 24 minutes coming off this surgery. So, I think in the starting lineup, if you have Hart that knows how to pick his spots when making the right pass, the right play for others, but also is the right spots in which to attack himself and try and score or shoot a three, then the offense in the starting lineup could be really, really good. I'm just saying, once the regular season gets going, you want him to be more aggressive than this. You do want him to distribute and kind of play that point forward role a bit, but you want him to pick his spots. You don't want him to shoot one shot in 21 minutes. You want him to still be aggressive enough as a scorer to be a threat, because that makes 4 guys that you have to guard behind the 3-point line, but also can attack you off the dribble. And that's how you get good ball movement. Is you got guys that can attack, collapse the defense, and kick out, and then swing the ball, make the right cut off that. That's how you get motion in your offense, and that's how Dame and Eric will get the most.
Me?
Damon, I read a comment with your. I wish it. Yeah, you man, you should be out there. Hell yeah.
Hey man, I was dropping dimes tonight. So
were you?
Yeah.
Nice. I was dropping threes today. I should be the one shooting. No, that's how you get Dame and Ant the most wide open threes. That's how you truly make use of their shooting ability. But then also it's if you draw their defenders even a little bit, kick it out to them, that defender has to close back out, those guys are going to be able to attack easier. Then it's a situation where the defense is rotating, they attack a closeout, the defense might not be set and ready to help as quickly, and they're able to get all the way to the rim. That's the type of offense I want. That's why Justice Winslow not being able to shoot is something that worries me a little bit, is because if he's out there and guys are driving into the paint and you got Nurkic down there, I just don't know how that works at the same level as if you have a Josh Hart that's being aggressive enough in the starting lineup. Level baseline row, section 117 row A, $14. Yeah, maybe I'll go on Thursday.
Excuse me for a sec.
Yeah, excuse you. Whatever you got going on. Now I'm echoing. Whoops. Okay, no, it's fine now. You're fine now. Anyway, I think Eric got thirsty.
No, not thirsty. Leg cramp.
You got a leg cramp? A hamstring? Yeah. You got to stream after playing basketball again. I've been doing it for a while, but now you got to do it? Welcome to pain.
I was just sitting here in pain. I was like, oh man, I need to get up and stretch.
Just told us you were cramping. There's no embarrassment in that. You were hooping.
I wasn't embarrassed. I just needed to go stretching for a second.
Do you go drink mustard?
I don't know.
Oh, you should
have
drink
had
mustard.
a banana or something.
Should have put mustard on a banana.
What did I do with
What'd you lose?
Oh, I bought bananas yesterday. Don't know.
Right,
I don't know where I don't know where I put them.
I had You ever have Nectar juice bar?
Sure.
Sure. No, so you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
I like in the peanut butter bowl with the bananas and the strawberries and the green apples on top with the granola. It's so good. And it's not complete crap food.
And no, I'm not eating a banana on stream. Sorry.
What do we got to do to get you to eat a banana on stream?
No, I don't even want to say what it would take because I don't want.
Chat. Give us a chat.
I already ate a glizzy on stream once. I'm not gonna freaking eat a banana.
You know how fast that would be clipped and put on Twitter? Trevin's still in here. Ooh.
No,
the stream's at 75 likes. If we get to 150 likes
I'm not eating
in the next
you can eat a
2
banana.
minutes, I don't have a banana. You got to eat the banana. If we get to 150 likes in the next 2 minutes, Eric got to eat a banana on stream.
No way. I'm not begging for
All right, deal. All right, chat. We're at 76. You got to 11:22. We're at 81.
I'm not doing it. I did not agree to that.
Chat's gonna shame you if you don't do it.
You asked for something that didn't benefit me. That was the wrong call.
What do you mean it doesn't benefit you, man? Likes are good for the channel.
I know
we
it
could
is.
be at 8K subs before you know it.
If you just asked people to like the stream and help us out, they would have done the same thing.
I don't think so. When I do that, we'll get like 10 extra likes. We got 20 like that. All right.
Why do you guys want to see me eat a banana? It's so weird.
The things Eric will do for likes, guys.
Go watch our very first stream, the draft video.
Did you eat a banana on that stream?
No, I ate a hot dog, man.
You ate a hot dog on that stream? That was your first
yeah.
stream. That was a rookie mistake.
Yeah, no, but like we were streaming for like 6 hours straight, and we did it at one of our friends' houses, and he had like all this food, and we didn't even get any of it because we had been streaming since the minute we got there, and like I was so hungry because it was late, and yeah, so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go grab a hot dog, and then I sat down, and I was like, realized I was on stream eating it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Blazers Uprise post-game show. Tonight, we're going to talk about Sacramento and the Blazers' performance down in California. A brutal game. Should we panic? Should we relax? Something in between? We'll let you guys know.
Yeah, so most people know that I haven't been, at least I think I haven't been too high or too low so far after the first 3 games. But this one really got to me. And it's for reasons that are not like scheme related, and it's just the same problems that are not things you're just going to fix within the next week or two. It's going to rear its ugly head in the regular season, I think. And the only thing I could suggest, if I'm Chauncey, man, I'm having minimum 6-hour film session tomorrow, and I am calling out all the BS I saw tonight, and it will take over 6 hours to do so because it was practically every play tonight. He needs to stop this crap right now. He needs to get a hold of it. He needs to hold every single one of those mistakes needs to be called out and held accountable, because the Blazers will be very far back in the standings if they play like they did tonight in the regular season.
It's just funny to me because during the offseason, it's, Tori, you're being too negative. Tori, you're being too negative. Now I feel like I'm getting the vibe from people that, Tori, you're not being negative enough. It's just funny how that works. I expected this to be a work in progress. I didn't expect them to fix the defense overnight. It's not a good performance whatsoever. I think as much as anything, it was a lack of effort tonight, a lack of attention to detail, a lack of focus, which is not good. You want this team showcasing better effort levels, better attention to detail, a better level of focus in the preseason, absolutely. But also at the same time, I mean, Dame said it in the post-game show last game, he doesn't care about the results. The problem is you could tell based off his defense that he didn't really care about the results tonight. So last offseason, we looked the exact same. We went into the regular season, and at home, we were dominant. On the road, we were terrible, right? And it was like, we looked like a completely different team if you're just looking at home games compared to the preseason last year, because we went into home games and gave a certain level of effort and had a certain level of attention to detail, and we were good on both sides of the ball despite having a terrible preseason last year. At home, we started off 10-1. On the road, we played like it was the preseason. The level of effort was crap. Attention to detail was crap, and that's why we started off 500. 1-10 on the road, 10-1 at home. Now, we're having the same crappy preseason we did last year, and it's going to have to be a situation where hopefully they flip the switch, but not just at home like they did last year. It needs to happen on the road. I don't know if they can. At the same time, I think that the number one area that a lack of effort shows up is transition defense, which was terrible tonight. The Kings got whatever they want in transition. They're a young team. They like to run. So definitely not a good preseason game. Definitely nothing to be optimistic about, but I don't know, man. I feel like a lot more people are a lot more worried than I am.
Yeah, here's why I'm worried, though, and why I'm not just chalking it up to a preseason game. Last year, right, we had some dreadful performances in the preseason. I think we got blown out in every single one.
It looked like this.
There was the one where we gave up the 63s, right? Went to Golden State. Most of them were wide open, right? Media day, Chauncey sat there and said he thought it was due to the lack of conditioning and that this year they would be better prepared for that. And then preseason game 4, we see them give up just a ton of open threes and have like very poor effort off ball, like people falling asleep all over the place every single freaking possession. And that's troublesome to me because conditioning was supposed to be better this year. So if that's not the problem, does Chauncey even know what the problem is then? And it's the first time I've started to question whether he even knows what to do or how to fix it or how to teach it or whatever. And it's very concerning to me.
Game 1 of this preseason wasn't necessarily bad, especially since it was Dame's first game off injury. We gave up 102 points to a healthy Los Angeles Clippers team, scored 97. We were in that game, yeah. We brought it back a little bit with some end-of-the-bench guys, but defensively it was a respectable effort. It wasn't good, but it was respectable. If it was every game this preseason where it was this level of play on the defensive end, sure, okay, maybe I could be a little bit more there with you. Game 1 I thought was okay, considering it's Dame first game back from injury, Naz's first game back from injury. I mean, they came out and they switched things, which was dumb, and gave up buckets like that, but in terms of just the level of effort, the level of intensity, making the right rotations, and all that stuff defensively, I thought they were okay. Which, going into the first preseason game, maybe they're a little bit amped up for it. Now it's preseason game number 4, it's the third preseason game against an NBA team, and all of a sudden they look like crap. Every year teams have games where one game they just aren't mentally in it and look like crap. That's during the regular season, and that's good teams and that's bad teams. With this team, it was a preseason game. It's trending the wrong way, obviously. Game 1 was okay. Game 2 against Utah, they did take a lead, but they had stretches where they were bad like they were tonight. But then Game 3, they were terrible tonight, right? But it's not a situation where it's the entire preseason like it was last season. And we still jumped into things, at least on our home court, and played defense and played well when we gave that level of intensity and effort. But here's the thing is, for me, preseason's a time to learn and try and work through some of those issues. In the regular season, if guys are doing this crap, you sub them out. You sub somebody else in who's going to play harder, who's not going to make the same mistakes. You hold it more accountable, right? But the problem is, no Justice Winslow tonight, obviously. No Gary Payton II. That's maybe your 2 hardest playing defensive players. If Dame has some of the defensive possessions that he did this game at the start of a game, maybe you sub him out a couple minutes earlier for GP2 and he sets the tone. I think this team needs Gary Payton II to be the guy that sets the tone for them defensively from an effort and intensity standpoint. They don't have him right now. They have no Winslow. You also got to give the Kings credit for shooting the hell out of the ball. All that adds up to something where I'm not going to be too worried about one preseason game. Like, what's the difference in thought?
It's because every single one of their mistakes on defense was dying on a screen, not in the right spot, falling asleep off ball. These are all things that were not scheme issues. It wasn't because, we're running a new scheme and it's just going to take time to learn how to do it, right? It was all just like simple stuff that these guys just can't seem to psychologically do right. And it's troubling that this is year 2 under Chauncey with the whole accountability thing. It shouldn't look like this at this point. We should be starting to implement stuff. Sacramento, you can tell, are implementing things on both sides of the court. They have a brand new coach. He's only been there. They've only had training camp. They started a few weeks ago. They have several new players. They look like they're a team that's well coached and playing well and doing the right things on the court. And we look like a team that is not prepared at all to play a basketball game, not prepared at all to run different schemes, and no one's like doing anything about it. I feel like it's frustrating to me. I was absolutely disgusted by the play tonight. I'm going to rant for a second on this one.
Oh boy. Who's going to be the subject to Eric's wrath?
The answer might surprise you.
Oh, I think it's going to be Dame, huh?
Chauncey Billups.
Oh, it's Chauncey?
What are you doing? We're in zone here. Okay, you can tell by where Nurk's standing. So we're in a 2-3 zone.
Yeah.
Why do you have Grant as one of the top 2 guys and Dame in the corner again? This is my problem. Dude. Dame, him and Simons need to be the top two, because as we break down this play, we'll see exactly why this has to be the opposite way. Jeremy Grant is one of the best off-ball players in the league, and you have him up top on the ball. He gets messed up in this play. Let me explain why. So we start off the first play. Let's go back to the first one. We see some action run. They try to go towards the corner, and then I think that's Keegan Murray brings the ball back up in the second slide here to the top. They're going to pass across to the other side. So Barnes catches it, and the Blazers are still in pretty good position, right? The third slide here, what is Grant doing? The second slide, you're in perfect position, and then Grant just runs to the middle for no reason, and then Dame's stuck between two guys. So all Barnes does is throw one pass to the middle. Sabonis catches the ball, and then he just easily notices that no one's guarding Keegan Murray out there, and he just, the easiest assist of his career. He's looking right at him when he catches the ball. He doesn't even hold the ball for more than like a half a second. Pushes it right out to him. Dames should be on Keegan Murray right now, because if Grant vacated his spot, Dame needs to recover to that spot. But Dame's not supposed to play the bottom of the zone, so he doesn't know that. He doesn't know how to play that. Grant would. Grant would be there on Keegan Murray right now. No.
Relax, man.
Frustrating,
it's preseason. Man. I know, but it's preseason. Relax.
No, I know, but like, okay, so right here, Dame, if Grant doesn't do what, I don't know what Grant did. I don't know why he left this on this play, but he should be standing right where Keegan Murray is right now, right? Yeah. So, like, we don't have a problem, like, who cares if Keegan Murray gets a 3-point shot over a contested Dame, right? Like, that's not a problem, like, with size or whatever, right? If Dame's up top, he's probably in the right position. He wouldn't have done what Grant did, and Grant would have been in good position down where he was supposed to be, right? So, like, just the fact that we have players playing the wrong position than we're supposed to be because we're trying to hide Dame on defense. We have to stop this crap. It's not going to work playing a zone and hiding someone. You have to hide him up front then, and he could have just literally stood in his spot on the zone, and we could have defended this play better than we had than we actually defended it. Like, that's how pathetic this is.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy. Like, I don't understand why Grant's not in this position to decide here and rotate, and Dame is. Like, I don't understand why. And this isn't something like, oh, we're just hiding our defense so we don't show it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, this is just on Grant. Like, I don't know what Grant's doing, man. That's bad. Dude, they're, like, matched up perfectly for a 2-3 zone. That's the bottom guy. These are the two top guys. This is the center guy, and then there's another bottom guy over there. Their offense is almost like a 2-3. The only guy not guarding where they're supposed to be guarding this situation is Grant. Like, Grant should be here. I agree that they hide Dame too much, and it's like it almost excuses some of his lack of effort, lack of intensity, that sort of thing. I know coaches like to sometimes put length in the top of a 2-3 zone, to put length on the ball, to disrupt passes, especially to that center guy in Sabonis, because it's easier to pick apart the zone when you have the ball in the center of it. So I know some coaches like to put somebody with length at the top of a zone. I think you see it with like Nick Nurse has done it with Siakam at times as like the main guy up in the press and that sort of thing.
Well, that's more like a 1-3-1 zone usually. Like, they do that with Mobley too. Also, they're not necessarily their best off-ball player either. So, like, why are you putting your best off-ball player in that position, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's not... Is Jeremy Grant's strength pressuring on ball?
No, but it's not a situation where you're playing man defense. Like, I think Grant can. I just think Grant struggles with screens. Like, he can slide his feet on ball and, like, he can play up on somebody. The thing is, in a zone, is if you get screens, you don't try and go through with the ball handler. You know what I mean? Because you're playing a zone. You're not playing man-to-man.
Yeah.
That wraps up our preseason stream highlights. As I said at the start of the video, let me know what you think of this type of video, and let me know what you think a good length for it is, because I really struggled with that when I was editing this one. Also, let me know if you think I should include background music next time. I didn't know whether or not to do that either, so your feedback is appreciated. With that being said, I'm out of here until next time. As always, peace out. Go Blaze.